Good morning, Flagler County. I'm Rich Carroll. You're listening to Flagler's Morning News on Monday, June 12th.
Police cars, ambulance, everything's going to be charged by electricity. Everything's going to be electric. I know that sounds ridiculous, but 2 million electric cars a year are being produced right now. Every single one of them is sold.
Palm Coast City Councilman Nick Kloufis was staunchly in support of the city applying for a grant that would bring electric vehicle chargers to public places in the city.
If you take EV charging out of it, it's still just an investable decision for the city council to make, right? We oftentimes talk about how we look for ways to diversify our tax base. We want to have more money to spend on things, but we don't want to raise taxes. I understand that entering a private industry is something that is a philosophical pillar that we can all stand on, but at the end of the day, unless something were to change, the only way to actually make more money would be to raise taxes.
But others on council, like Councilwoman Teresa Pontieri, didn't agree with him.
I don't see a demand. I don't see the data in front of me that shows that our residents will use this, that we'll actually get an ROI. But in our community, I don't know that EV is needed on this level and that we should be spending tax dollars to fund something that we know private companies are in fact installing in their businesses.
Vice Mayor Ed Danko was also opposed.
If the federal government offered us an 80% grant to open hot dog stands and sell hot dogs, I would be opposed to it. It's not just electrical vehicles. It's not what we're supposed to be doing. We should not be taking business away from free enterprises. If Sam's Clubs or BJ's or Costco or McDonald's wants to put these things in because they see a profit in it, then they'll do it.
Kloufis fired back and the two went at it a bit.
Then maybe we should sell the water utility.
Do what?
Maybe we should sell the water utility.
Well, water is one of life's essential.
And soon, one day, I know it's hard to believe, but electricity to charge vehicles will
Yeah, but we don't power
Okay,
homes.
we're getting into a philosophical semantic argument here.
The Palm Coast City Council voted against applying for the grant, as did the Flagler County Commission at their meeting. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you. A suspected drug home in Bunnell is shut down.
Just before the weekend, the Flagler County Sheriff's Office Special Investigations Unit and SWAT team served a narcotics-related search warrant in Bunnell. The search warrant stemmed from a previous undercover operation conducted by SIU. More from Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley.
This search warrant raid was a result of an undercover operation that had previously been conducted. Our team continues to work hard to eradicate drugs from our county and put the poison peddlers in the Green Roof Inn.
Elisha Phillips has an arrest history of domestic violence in Volusia County, but this is his first arrest in Flagler County. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
The April housing sales report in Flagler County is now out.
Palm Coast Flagler Regional Chamber of Commerce President and CEO Greg Blase says the report from the Flagler County Association of Realtors showed encouraging single-family home pricing.
When you look back historically at the value of residential single-family homes in Flagler County, you notice that prices go up and then they could plateau for a while. And so that is the case here. When you look back at the past 3 years of historical data on single-family home pricing in Flagler County, what we see is that we're continuing this trend where we don't lose a lot of real estate value. So your home is continuing to appreciate in value.
While sales prices are up, it's taking longer to close.
$375,000 is the median sales price of a single family home, and that's up over $10,000 year over year. The median time to contract is now about 90 days, so it takes 3 months for you to get to a contract, and the inventory is relatively stable. We have a healthy 3.1 month supply of inventory in Flagler County.
Blase says the chamber is concerned about workforce housing, something they're very involved with. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Rich Petchke.
She is the executive director of the Flagler Education Foundation.
How did Teresa Rizzo get to where she is today? You'd be surprised.
I ran from education multiple times, and I remember hearing Oprah Winfrey say something about no matter what your calling is, you can run from it as much as you want, but it will pull you back in, and it did.
Rizzo was a guest on WNZF's newest program, Business Minds Coffee Chat, and said that when she went to college, she had planned a career in sports medicine, even when her friends told her to go into education.
I came to Florida to do my internship here at Flagler Palm Coast High School as an athletic trainer, still not wanting to be a teacher, but realizing that to have a family and to be successful here in Flagler County, I was going to have to go down that education pathway.
That's why Rizzo says she opened 2 businesses. What? Business Minds Coffee Chat, our newest program on WNZF, is on Saturday mornings at 8:30, and it's on the Flagler radio app. Tomorrow, Teresa Rizzo finally got into education. From the WNZF newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.
And now, Mike Licio with your WNZF local sports update.
There will be a familiar face in a new place in Flagler County. Flagler Palm Coast class of 2001 graduate Scott Drapsick was hired as athletic director for the Bulldogs last week. Drapsick was most recently the AD at Horizon High in Winter Garden and had been at Ocoee prior to that. Scott on coming home.
It's almost surreal, to be honest, to come back to Flagler County, which is home, which is such a special place to us, and to join a team of other FPC alumni and to continue trying to make a great impact in the student athletes and the youth of our community is really, really special. We're just over the moon excited about getting started.
FPC currently has 3 coaching positions open. What is he looking for in a new coach?
Number one, wants somebody that has great passion and energy for not only the sport and the game that they're teaching, but for impacting lives. We're looking for coaches that see outside the box and they're forward-thinking visionaries.
Hear my full interview with Coach Drapsick Saturday morning on the Rich and Mike Sports Show, 7:30 a.m. here on WNZF. A furious comeback fell short as the Vegas Golden Knights pushed the Florida Panthers to the brink of elimination, defeating Florida 3-2 to take a 3-1 series lead Saturday night. Panthers coach Paul Maurice says his team can't worry about winning 3 in a row.
I believe fully we've earned the right to play our best hockey in a difficult situation. All we want to do is get this thing back here.
Game 5 is Tuesday in Las Vegas. The Denver Nuggets defeated the Miami Heat 108-95 Friday night. Miami returns to Denver tonight, down 3-1. Jimmy Butler believes the Heat can still win the series, though.
No doubt, we don't have no quit. We're going to continually fight to get better. And then we're going to go on a Monday and do what we said we were going to do this entire time and win.
Baseball, the Florida Gators swept South Carolina this weekend to advance to the College World Series in Omaha. The Tampa Bay Rays made it 8 wins in their last 9, defeating the Rangers 7-3 Sunday. They have the best record in baseball and start a 4-game set in Oakland tonight. The A's are an MLB worst 17-50, but are on a 5-game winning streak. The Daytona Tortugas beat St. Lucie 8-5. They start a 12-game homestand with Jupiter on Tuesday. We are your home for local sports with updates Mondays and Fridays. From the WNZF Sports Desk, I'm Mike Licio.